Hey, Huckster here. I believe that secularism saves lives. Has been for some time. Why do I say that? I say it I'm able to say that because I observe Christian activity. I've seen Christians that get caught up in radical talk show hosts, spills, and before you know it, they're making videos of themselves shooting guns and talking about how things are about to get bloody and there's going to be a war between Christians and secularism. What would these Christians do if they're just left on their own to their own devices? I've seen Christians when natural catastrophes happen, they say, well, it was God because these people were of the devil. So they kind of okayed these things happening. They said God removed his hand of protection from these people and allowed them to suffer. That would be like saying God removed his hand of protection from the apostles because Jesus himself warned them of the things that were going to happen to them. God himself must have removed his hand of protection from Jesus long before Jesus said it's finished. What would happen if there was a nuclear war? And things weren't in control like they are today. Would these Christians start killing people that they felt were not Christians because it would be God's will? You would say, no, they weren't. They wouldn't do that. Christians won't do that. But look at what Christians have done all through our history. And you could say, well, that was at a different time. People are people. Today, we're in the present today. We feel like we're advanced. You go back 500 years ago, in that day, they felt like they were advanced. But yet they still did these horrible things. The Inquisitions, the wars against people by the church, the witch burnings, through the Dark Ages where everything was blamed on the devil. And if you disagreed with what the church said, you was influenced by Satan, and you were probably going to be tortured until you admitted you were influenced by Satan. And then they had you to do what they wanted to with you, kill you probably. Well, Christians today blame these catastrophes if they say they knew somebody who prayed destruction on a music concert. Why would any Christian pray for destruction of anything? The secular world keeps the religious world in check. If everybody on the earth was religious, then I don't think there would be anybody there to stop Christians from executing what they feel like is God's will. Christians can look you right straight in the face and tell you you're going to burn in hell. I had a friend the other day told me that when her mother was suffering, the preacher told her that her mother was suffering because of my friend, who was the daughter, her way of life. If she would straighten up, her mother would get better. This is a Baptist preacher who had been a preacher for about 30 or 40 years before he passed away. Now his son's a preacher. My neighbor goes to the Church of the Son, and I question her about what he says sometimes. They're really big on hellfire and brimstone, punishment, condemnation. I believe the secular world keeps the Christian world in check in these areas, because some Christians will pull out their guns and start shooting people that they think are the enemy of the Christians. They'll blame anything on your evil ways, and it's either God punishing you or God removing his hand of protection from you. Sick, sadistic, evil. So thank you to the world for keeping Christians in check during my lifetime. Peace, love, justice, understanding, drum music.